Before I work out, I always have a banana, and then post-workout I'm making my green protein smoothie. I'm adding a block of frozen spinach in my blender, and then as I was out of frozen mango, I'm doing a cup of frozen pineapple. I then grated a bit of ginger and added that in. And I love adding some cucumber as it makes the smoothie nice and fresh, so I chopped about a fourth and added it in my blender. Lastly, I added a scoop of this vegan protein powder and topped with about a cup and a half of water. I blended it and served it on my glass, ready to enjoy after my workout.
So cold.
For actual breakfast, we're starting by cutting an avocado and scooping half of it out. I smashed it with my fork and then seasoned with salt and pepper and added some lime juice. And for my eggs today, I'm doing poached, and I'm actually following all the tips from a comment I got a while ago, so thank you to the person who told me to use separate bowls for each egg and adding some vinegar to the water before lowering the eggs in. And it made such a big difference, and I can now enjoy proper poached eggs. And while the eggs are cooking, I toasted a pita and cut it in half. I then spread half with the avocado, and then the other half I'm doing cream cheese and smoked salmon, as I love that combo. So I just spread some cream cheese and then added a few slices of smoked salmon. I then added some black pepper and lemon juice, and finally topped with some thin cucumber slices. And now my poached eggs are ready, so I'm just adding them on top of the avocado pita toast. I season with salt and pepper, and breakfast is ready. I love this combo, it's so filling, and the smoked salmon makes this breakfast so much more special. It feels like I've gone to a brunch place. Then for my mid-morning snack, I had a piece of my homemade baklava, as it was in the house and I couldn't resist. I will have the recipe I used linked in the description below, as I made a video on it. Then it was time to take Elsie for a walk, and it had actually snowed a bit the day before, so it was a very crisp and cold afternoon. And I don't know if it's because I'm Greek and we don't get a lot of snow, I just love the snow. I get so excited when I see it, and Elsie's the same. And today was such a beautiful sunny but cold day, perfect for a winter stroll. Let me know in the comments if you like the snow, by the way. I know a lot of people see it as an inconvenience, so interested to see if you like it or hate it, or simply don't care about it. By the way, how cute is Elsie when she trots back with her ball? She's so proud of herself. And then classic Elsie, she didn't want to leave the park, so she chose a nice snowy area to sit on. So we're now back home and I'm ready for lunch, so I'm grabbing some potatoes to make mash. I'm starting by washing and peeling them, and then I'm cutting them in small pieces so they can boil faster, as I left lunch too late and now I'm way too hungry. I then added some boiling water in my pan and added the potatoes to boil until they're fork tender, and that was about 20 to 30 minutes for me. And while my potatoes are cooking, I'm prepping my chicken, so I'm adding some olive oil to my pan and then cutting a few chicken breasts in small pieces. I then seasoned with salt and pepper and let it cook for a few minutes. I then added a few teaspoons of dried marjoram, but if you have fresh that would also work great, but I've never seen it fresh in the UK. I then added a couple of tablespoons of balsamic vinegar and gave everything a stir. I let it absorb, and once the chicken was cooked through, I turned off the heat. And now my potatoes are cooked through, so I drained them and added them back to the pan. I then added some milk and seasoned with salt and pepper. I then started mashing it with my potato masher, and I also decided to add a tiny bit of butter to make it more creamy and gave it a final mush. I then added some rocket to my bowl and topped with some pomegranate seeds, as they make any salad so much better. I added some olive oil and red wine vinegar and seasoned with salt. I then served a big serving of mash and then added the chicken on the side. And this is such a quick and easy meal. It's been one of my go-tos, as everyone in the family loves it, including Elsie, of course.
So good. It's so good. It's like restaurant level, honestly. It's amazing how like 2 ingredients can make such an amazing dish. I need to make it. And I think, obviously I'm biased and I love chicken, but I think if you're vegan or if you're vegetarian, I think it would work with tofu as well. If you do try it with tofu, comment down below and tell me how it turned out. And the mashed potato is very good. As I've said before, mashed potato is my least favorite way to have potato, but it's still potato, if you know me. I love potatoes, so love it. Oh, by the way, don't you think this jumper is like Rory, the season 1 or something? From Gilmore Girls, obviously. I have that on repeat all day, every day. Okay, I'm gonna go and actually sit down, but it's delicious.
And then for dinner, I'm cutting up the leftover chicken from lunch so I can make a chicken quesadilla wrap thing. So I added my flatbread straight into the pan and added some cheese. I then added the chicken and then I sliced some roast peppers and added them in. These are so good to have in the fridge. I always add them when I want a bit more flavor and veg, but I'm too lazy to cook peppers. And to make this a bit creamy, I'm also adding some cream cheese as this melts and it turns into a cheesy, creamy goodness. It's so good. I then folded it in and let it crisp up from both sides. And I'm also cutting up some fruit to have on the side as I felt like I didn't eat enough fruit during the day. So I'm cutting a green apple and an orange, and I ate that while the flatbread was cooking. And I don't know if I'm weird, I like to eat my fruit before my savory meal. I don't like to end on fruit. And I've read somewhere that you digest fruit better that way. Not sure if that's true, but yeah. And by the time I had my fruit, my flatbread toast thing was ready, so I cut it in little triangles and I enjoyed it on the sofa while Elsie was staring at me as she could smell the chicken. I hope you enjoyed this video and got some healthy food inspiration. If you did, make sure you give me a big thumbs up and I'll see you on the next one. Okay, bye!